Puerto Rico is an incredible place, yes, filled with lots of wonder, lots of interesting food that is not very healthy, but they do have healthier options nowadays, which I'm so thankful for. I lived in this little area called Cabo Rojo on the west side of the island, which most people don't even hear about because you normally only hear about San Juan, maybe Ponce, San Germán, and certain other places that is more commonly talked about. It was filled, of course, with this vibrant culture, with beautiful nature, and most of all, the people were amazing. There are different values in Puerto Rico that I highly hold with pride in my heart, including family. We highly believe in taking care of family. I disagree with the extended family aspect where people obsess over it and they feel the need to take care of them instead of thinking more about their nuclear family. I think it's just taking a little bit too far, allowing toxic people, allowing people that do worship demonic things into your nuclear family. I highly disagree with that, but in the aspect of just common family, I'm all about it. Another thing that I think is one of our superpowers, and I think that's the reason why people fall in love with Puerto Rico in the first place, is the hospitality factor. If you've ever been there and you've ever been to someone's house, they will be so kind to you and hospitable. They want to make sure you feel like home. They'll bring you food. They'd love for you to come over anytime and any day. And I know that is a biblical principle that is talked about in the Bible, especially for believers, to host each other, be hospitable towards each other without complaining. And what a beautiful thing that Puerto Ricans can highly say we do that well. But within that, there are negative values, negative views of what Puerto Ricans do and how they react, especially women. Just like any culture, you have more quiet women, which are frowned upon. But then there are very loud women and obnoxious, which are celebrated. You have the side of the mothers being, like, oh, good for you, you're a mom, versus you're a doctor, like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. So, differences in celebrating certain things, which I disagree with. I believe there is nothing more powerful and more fulfilling than doing your role as a woman, as being a wife and being a mother, and teaching the younger generation to do the same, which, maybe some people hold that, but the majority of women over there do not, and they do prefer the career life, the college life, figure out your whole life before you get married, before you have one child possibly, and then you just retire and do nothing with your life. Regardless of that, the women in Puerto Rico need an awakening. They need a shakening. I don't know what else to say about that, except that the Lord needs to be made king in Puerto Rico, because the way the island is, people will say, we want to go independent, or we want to become a state. It doesn't matter what you become, if you don't have God being the king in your life, it's going to go down regardless. So I don't care politically which side you lean on. I want to see a revival and a movement of God in Puerto Rico, and I hope that this empowers you to start it if you are living there. If you are not, if you have the resources, start something, because I can't wait to have the resources to start something over there. Especially for women, it is very hard to see nowadays a woman that is biblical. And again, there are exceptions. There are incredible women of God, of course. But the majority, generalizing, a lot of women are not like this. They are the leaders of the home. They do not submit to their husbands. So what is something that we can do as women, as Puerto Rican women, is to first read our Bible. If you're a believer, this is definitely for you. If you're not, first of all, find Jesus, learn about Jesus. The easiest way is get a Bible. If not, go to a church. If not, pray that the Lord encounters you with some Christian, because He will. He easily will. He loves you and He wants relationship with you. But for my fellow believers, what can we do to change the way Puerto Rican women are? It's by leading by example. I remember when I moved to Florida, I was part of a ministry school, and something that was told about me a lot was how feisty I was, and I'm so feisty and like so strong, and like it was actually empowered. Like they wanted me to be this way. And for the longest time I had no doubts about it. I was like, yes, I'm loud, I can be feisty, I get mad easily, I have a lot of growing to do, until I got married. And the Lord has slowly revealed and convicted me of my attitude, because I would always just say, oh, well, that's just the way I am. I'm Puerto Rican. I'm loud, and that's just who I am. But that's not the way the Lord made me to be. That is not the way the Lord designed women to be. He made us to win over people with our gentleness and our kindness. He made us to submit to our husband and to love them and cherish our children as well. So these are things that are not being applied. So how we can make a change is by doing the thing, doing it the way the Bible says to do, doing it the way the Lord has called women to be. It's funny because not a lot of people will know that I'm Puerto Rican, except obviously by my facial features or however I look, but they'll be like, wow, you're so different than a lot of Puerto Ricans. You're not loud, you're not obnoxious. And that is honestly such an honor to me, being like, wow, like they recognize that this is a trait that Puerto Rican women have obviously made popular, but it is not good. So it is good to be gentle and not saying you can't say what you want, you can't be vocal. We hold more power when we are gentle. And that's something that the enemy has taken and twisted and said, you have no voice if you're not loud enough. That is not true. You are more powerful when you are gentle. If your husband is not a believer, it says in the Bible, you will win him over with your actions. See how it's not saying nagging at him, saying you need to go to church, you need to go to church. That is something that is a crazy thing over there. So I believe Puerto Rico needs a revival. Puerto Rico and Puerto Rican women specifically have a voice and have a chance to change the tide. And I believe if you're in America, you've seen everything that's been going on in America and how the tide have shifted into Christianity. We are the only country right now that's actively pursuing Christianity, while so many other countries are slowly becoming Muslim, which is something that we do have to talk about. We have to pray for it, pray against for, because that is not the will of God. We are supposed to be worshiping Him and only Him, and they believe a certain twisted version of who God is. So obviously that's a separate topic, but we have to pray actively for Puerto Rico as women of God. We are prayer warriors. A lot of us normally pray already, but we have to actually pray for effective change in Puerto Rico, especially within government, because again, it doesn't matter what you vote. If God is not king, it's not going to go well. As we've seen with all of the stories in Israel, when they were neglecting, forgetting, rejecting God, they were not winning. And I think we're not winning right now. And I think the biggest reflection of that is this whole thing with the Super Bowl. So many people worship Bad Bunny in a way that is, just like people obsess over Taylor Swift, which is of course a secular person, but they feel that is who Puerto Ricans are. He represents us. I would reject that highly. I deny that he is a representation of Puerto Ricans. He is the worst part of Puerto Rico. He dresses like a woman. He doesn't know his identity. He worships demons. His songs are secular and vulgar. How dare we say that we're allowing our kids to go to his concerts? I could never. And I do not celebrate the fact that he is being a part of the Super Bowl. Because first of all, he hates America. Second of all, he's anti-God. So that's my take on that. So I would have literally preferred anybody else. Daddy Yankee was such a popular artist in Puerto Rico. Farruko, so many others could have been a better option. But of course, money wins. And so does connection. So that's a different topic. But ultimately, the goal of this video is to tell you women the power that you have to bring change for us in general as Puerto Rico as a whole, because so many people claim to be Puerto Rican even if they were never born there, even if they've never lived there. But the ones that do live there, the ones that have left, and they did live there for a long time, we have the power to bring change with our resources, with the way we live. And I just pray that the Lord brings revival to that island, revival that it opens hearts, ears, and eyes to receive what He is saying, because they need it just as much as anywhere else. But it holds a special place in my heart because I was born there and I love Puerto Rico. And I don't want to see an island that becomes more secular, more satanic, more anti-God. I want to see an island that is filled with the Holy Spirit, sending people out of Puerto Rico just to bless other nations. What a blessing. So that's my take on it today.